Get that camera rolling. Are we okay, Steve? Are we rolling? How do I know you can afford to pay me? If Sky TV watched this, they would say,
yeah, that's terrible. I'm not saying that as a criticism.
imagine as an organisation you get it right 98% of the time. Most people I work with think their lives work until you ask them the relevant questions. The day he joins or she joins you, are you going to trust them 100% or are you going to... So one of the questions I ask people all the time, if you come to my house on a Friday night, unless you're a policeman on call, most people, and especially in leadership, think everyone does this. Not everyone. Most people do. Do you know about the boxes in the brain?
No, go ahead and tell me.
When he was born, the world stopped. It was like the Lion King appeared.
So how does the team leader, the head of department, the CEO, etc., deal with all of these archetypes?
What are you proud of and what support do I need next week? Don't judge people by their cars, judge people by their relationships with their family. The most important thing I have in my armour is my...
Welcome to the show, Nigel Risner.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
Did you know we've been working together for more than 7 years?
Definitely more. I thought it was more like 10 years.
Feels like it, by the way.
Yes.
We've definitely been working at least 8 years.
I met you around 10 years ago at Andy's event, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that is even further.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the first time we met at Andy's event.
Okay, yes.
So, for the listeners, who do you help and what do you help them achieve?
So I do 3 things. So I work as a motivational speaker, sometimes an irritational speaker, because I push people quite hard. I work in leadership with chief execs, and then I coach certain people monthly at home or in their offices to get them and their teams to a new place. So I tell people I turn limited people limitless. So I'm not saying everyone's limited per se, but I want to make them much bigger than they are, personally, financially, spiritually, emotionally. And a lot of the stuff that I do is quite deep, but I have to show it in a real fun way.
Mm-hmm.
So I call it entertainment.
Okay. So with what you're doing, what are the most common patterns that you observe with the people that have limitations or maybe self-imposed limitations?
Great question. So most people I work with think their lives work until you ask them the relevant questions. When you then work in organizations, how do you feel? Do you love what you do? And you may have heard me share this. Are you in joy with your work? Except that I spell enjoy, I-N-J-O-Y.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy being with you in these fantastic studios because we get a chance to talk.
Yeah.
Am I enjoy speaking in Macclesfield on a Friday afternoon at 4:00 when I've got a family dinner at 6? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
I might like the work, but I'm not enjoy because I really want to be at home with my family.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I'm asking people all the time is where you work or is your relationship what I call enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky and I'm 63. 99% of the time, where I go, I'm in joy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I joke happily 4, but I've been married 40 years.
Yeah.
But I'm in joy.
Okay.
I've got 2 great kids, and I've got 4 great I have 4 grandsons who are great, and I'm in joy 99% of the time when I'm with them.
Okay.
You're too young for grandchildren but they never leave.
Yeah.
So there are times where I'm not in joy.
Yeah.
But most people are not in joy either in their relationships or at work. It's because they're not getting their personal needs met.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've seen me on stage a number of times.
Yeah.
Do you remember what 2 of my personal needs are?
No, I don't. If I'm to be completely honest, I don't.
No, that's great, because that really means you're listening and doing the work. You're not really listening to my speech.
Yeah.
One of my big personal needs is Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my big personal...
Let me answer this one.
Yeah.
A dairy milk chocolate.
There you go. Okay. How do you think I feel as a speaker or as a parent or as a husband when I come home and there's chocolate and there's Diet Coke waiting for me?
Happy. Enjoy.
Yeah, but because, this is the key bit, because
your needs are being met.
Because
your partner and your family know what your needs are.
Because
They're aware that
They've
they
listened,
understand you.
They're aware.
Yep.
They know what I love.
Yeah.
I got an award recently, big award from a big speaking organisation, and I was given a bottle of champagne. I don't drink. I've only worked with this organisation for 20 years. How do you think I felt?
Disappointed.
Sad, disappointed. They don't know me well. They don't listen. And it was easy for them because they were giving lots of people champagne. The champagne cost about £80 a bottle.
Yeah.
My Diet Coke cost 95p.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money. It's about looking after people. And when people go to work, they're often not getting their needs met. They're not trusted. They're micromanaged to such a point that they don't feel empowered. You've seen me work that I walk into a studio, I walk into a building, I'm trusted. I haven't sent my slides in advance. I'm trusted in what I do, and I trust the people on the other side. So when you've had your crew filming, I've not had to say, can you hear me at the back?
Yeah.
Because I just trust the people I'm working with.
Yeah.
If I told you that trust is probably the biggest issue in relationships, in the workplace, with friendship, so I trust you 100%, and I have no idea where this is going to go.
Yeah.
I don't know where the videos are going to go, where it's going to be put on social media. I don't know how well Steve's going to film it, but I trust the process.
Yeah.
I bet you'll have guests that come in. They'll have people scope out the arena. They'll want to see, I'd like to see it before it goes on social media. What they're really saying to us, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Imagine you work in a workplace where before you leave, someone wants to check your work.
That's a horrible feeling.
Because
It's demeaning.
Because you're not trusted.
Yeah.
We used to play a game when I belonged to a training organisation where you had to go up to people and answer one of four questions. So I go up to you and go, hi, I'm Nigel.
I'm Sanj.
And I either had to say to you, look in your eyes and go, I trust you. I don't trust you. I don't know if I trust you or not. I don't care to say.
In that moment, you're deciding that.
Yep.
And that's based on your intuition, that you've got nothing else other than intuition in that interaction, right?
Unless you say I trust you, everything else says I don't trust you. Steve over here is filming, so he's doing a brilliant job.
Yeah.
I've met Steve 15, 20 minutes ago. Would you say I trust him or I don't know if I trust him or not?
I think you trust him.
Okay, but most people say, well, I don't know if I trust him or not. I don't know him yet. What I'm really saying is, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Now, imagine Steve hears that, and he's doing all the filming for today. How do you think he feels? And we could even ask him, even though he's not used to doing that.
In fact, Steve, how would you feel?
Okay, no. But listen to that word, disappointed.
So Steve said he'd feel disappointed.
He'd feel disappointed. But there's a whole point here that imagine, and you will have employed people before, so they've left an organisation. So just imagine you've taken someone from Sky TV that works for a big organisation, and you've taken them on board to work for you.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing the size of your organisation, but Sky's possibly a bit bigger than you.
Yeah.
Okay. The day he joins or she joins you, are you going to trust them 100% or are you going to want to see how well they do?
I'm going to want to see how well they do.
Okay. Which means you don't trust them.
Not yet.
Which means you don't trust them.
Correct.
But now let's go one stage further. They've left an organisation like Sky, which is a $1 billion business, to come and work for your organisation, which isn't quite a $1 billion organisation, and they're not going to get paid for a month. So they've given up all of this security to come to work for you, and you have the gall to say, I don't trust you. How do I know you can afford to pay me at the end of the month?
But let's back up for a minute. Why would I even employ them if I didn't trust them?
But listen to the very first thing you said. You said, I don't know if I trust them.
Yeah, you see, I think I've got an issue with perfectionism.
So here's another issue. So we're going to come on to that. See, I've never done a perfect speech. So I've done nearly 3,500 paid professional speeches in my career. And I've never done a perfect speech. Ever. I've done some brilliant speeches, some excellent speeches, some really good speeches. I've been rebooked many times. But I promise you, if I looked back at any video of all of my speeches, there'd be a flaw somewhere.
My need for things to be perfect has really slowed me down and hindered me in so many ways.
So I'm going to give you instant feed forward. Notice I've said feed forward and not feedback.
Okay.
Because nobody likes feedback.
Yep. I like that.
You'll never get perfection.
Yeah.
I promise you, if Sky TV watched this, they would say if Steve had moved the camera 1 inch to the left, and if we'd have moved the mic from 1 inch up, and if we'd have got the camera 4 inches closer, and if we'd have had a background that did, they'll find a flaw.
Yeah.
And it's not their right or wrong, but you can't have perfection.
Yeah.
And if you look for perfection, you're always going to be unhappy.
I've realised that.
So the game is to strive for excellence.
Mm-hmm.
So when I leave here today, have I given the best I've got? Did I turn up early? Was I prepared? Did I bring you a present? Was I kind? Was I truthful?
Yeah.
And I still may mess up. And I've messed up because my phone rang once.
Yeah.
I didn't intentionally mean to do it. So this wasn't a perfect presentation.
Mm-hmm.
But the stress you put yourself under to be perfect, promise you, causes you gut issues.
It does. I've had that.
Which causes IBS, which causes issues. It causes you to be short with some of your staff. And it doesn't matter what you do. See, I'm doing instant coaching for you. You'll never, ever be perfect.
Mm.
I mean, I've been married 40 years. I promise you, I think I'm pretty good.
Mm.
My wife has a list of that long of everything I've messed up over the last 40 years. I mean, I'm married to what I call her Mary Poppins because she's practically perfect in every respect.
Right.
But even Mary Poppins said, I'm practically perfect.
Yeah.
She didn't sound perfect.
Yeah.
So we need to drop perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And when bosses and leadership understand that when people come to work, 99% of people want to do a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you brought Steve in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Steve decided on his journey up the M25 thought, let's see if I can really bugger up today?
Of course not. Yeah.
But he might make a mistake. And we had that thing with the camera. It was 1/4 of an inch wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought, let's see if I can bugger up the whole day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But lots of bosses don't understand that people want to do a great job, but there's a problem that there may be stuff going on in their personal lives. Their personal needs may not be met. How old are your kids?
16 and 14.
Right, imagine in the middle of this interview, you found out your 14-year-old called and said, Dad, can you call me urgently?
She called me.
Yeah. But the message was, can you call me back urgently?
This would immediately stop.
There you go.
About. Yeah.
So there's not a chance in your mind that you could really focus on me because one of the most key people in your life has asked to speak to you.
Yeah.
This goes on all, but now let's go one stage further. You've left the family home and your daughter was in tears, but you haven't got time to sort it out because you've got this interview. How much energy do you think you'll be thinking about that moment?
Yeah, I'd be consumed with it.
Okay, so you probably remember my big phrase, which says, if you're in the room, be in the room.
Yeah.
So I've just told you I've been married 40 years to an amazing woman. I've got 2 amazing children, 4 grandchildren. Right now, you are the most important person in my life. It's because you're here.
Yeah.
How's it going to help me focusing on my wife and children right now if I'm here? And then the worst bit is, imagine when I get home, I then start thinking about what I should have said when I was here. That's what 60% of people are doing all day long. 60% of people are spending most of their time thinking about something else other than work they're doing.
Which is why the results won't be great.
And you're looking for perfection. So one of the questions I ask people all the time, is there anything stopping you being in the room? And I said to you, if you remember, before we started the interview, at 2:25, I need to stop the interview for literally 10 minutes to speak to my specialist.
Yeah.
So I asked in advance, is that okay?
Yeah.
And you said, fine.
Yeah.
So in my brain, I know I've got an hour to play, do whatever I need to do because we've given permission.
Yeah.
But imagine you said no. You know, we've got to do the filming. Steve needs to go at 3:00. We've got no option. We've only got the studio till 3:00. This is the only time we've got. What do you think's going to happen to me at 2:29 when I know my specialist is calling me?
Your stress is going to increase, your performance is going to decrease.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be in the room because I'm going to be thinking about all the things I wanted to say to my specialist.
Yeah.
How many times do you think that goes on during the day for most people? Now, let's go one question before. Just imagine you did a podcast before me today and it went terribly. Steve is brilliant at filming, but just suppose one of the cameras broke
Yeah.
and the stage wasn't quite right, and then the person said to you, it wasn't great, but you've now got to work with me.
Mm.
How much energy do you think you'll be thinking about what went on, even though you can't change it? And you know there's someone else coming in at 4 o'clock after me, and you're thinking, we better get Nigel off, or we're going to get remiked, because we've got the next person coming in.
But I'd better be damn good at state management to make sure that doesn't filter through, which is challenging.
But think about clients, whether it's estate agents, marketing, whatever. They're on the phone to a client, and they just see someone walk by and they need to speak to.
Mm-hmm.
They lose instant focus.
Yeah.
They don't listen to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The client then rings back 20 minutes later and says, we didn't speak about this. You go, sure we did.
Mm-hmm.
All of us have this issue where we work really hard to support our family. But when we're with our family, my wife will say, you know, in the room.
How often do you hear that?
Well, I'm a lot better now because after 25 years of saying, if you're in the room, be in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I have people watching me all the time.
Okay.
So I'm trying all the time to be focused. But you can only be in the room for about 35 minutes.
So how were you, say, 10 years ago? Were you as good as you
Sorry,
are
what
now?
were you saying? That's what I was like. I'd be talking to my kids holding my phone.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, you know.
And I'm not saying that as a criticism.
No, let me share. What happens is all of us, have you ever seen people? They do this. So how's it going? Oh, just 1 second. Oh, no, it's okay.
That really pisses me off, actually.
Well, it can't piss you off that much because you allow it to happen.
You know, sometimes I actually speak up. I actually do.
Okay.
Sometimes. It
but
depends on who I'm with.
Okay, so I'm going to give you, I'm going to go a bit personal here. I come from a Jewish background, and Friday night dinners are very important to us.
Mm-hmm.
If you come to my house on a Friday night, unless you're a policeman on call or a doctor on call, you're not allowed to have your phone at my table.
That's great.
Now, I'm going to guess you're about 35, 40 years old, etc.
Thank you.
Well, you look that young. You know, I'm much older. Steve's much older. But, you know, but at our age, you'd think teenagers even have to hold their phones. But I promise you, on a Friday night dinner, and it's from Sabbath candles till dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, these are long 3-hour dinners. These are like 35, 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to watch people not be able to talk without their phone. I went to Paris last week. Let me just show me a picture. I know what Paris is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had this great holiday. Just talk to me about your holiday.
Yeah.
If you can educate people to say, for the next 35 minutes, I just want to be with you, your life would change. Your relationships with your kids would change. Are you aware most kids can't talk without their phone?
I have made some observations, but I think I'm pretty good at managing that at home with the kids, like even with the dinner table. In fact, I'm quite a hypocrite, actually, now that we're having this conversation, because I say to the others, no phones at the dinner table, but I realise, actually, I've been having my phone at the dinner table.
Because you think, just in case my client calls,
Well,
I need it just in case. So what we're saying to our clients are, you're the most important people, because if you need me, I'm there 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem, though. What you've taught your clients is, I'm available 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
My voicemail says, I'm sorry I'm not there, but I will call you back within 42 minutes.
Why 42 minutes?
Because that's the average time I can be focused on stage. And I do breaks all the time after 42 minutes.
Right.
So most of my clients can wait 42 minutes.
That's interesting. 42 minutes, so specific.
You know, when I'm on stage at some of the events,
Yeah.
I only speak 42 minutes.
Right.
It's not that I don't have enough material. Trust me, I've got days of material.
Yeah.
But really hard for focus for longer. I mean, have you been to a football match?
Yes.
It's really interesting, a football match. The first half is 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the second half now, by the way, is 55 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nearly always 10 minutes of extra time.
Yeah.
By the end of the second half, people are thinking of leaving after 42 odd minutes. They want to leave. I reckon they could stay another 10 minutes, but their brains get indoctrinated. It's got to start moving.
Yeah.
And the extra 10 minutes, if something they love, it's extra time. It's just going to kill me.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, an extra 8-7 minutes?
I've actually observed people leaving.
Yeah, you will do.
Yeah.
Well, they've spent all that money on a season ticket.
Yeah.
School classes are normally 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How long are some of the lectures you've been filming? at some of the events?
Typically 90 minutes.
Okay. Who on earth can concentrate for 90 minutes? I've done lots of research where I've asked an audience a month after the previous speaker's been. I've said, who was last month's speaker?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me 4 things you've learned and 2 things you could write down. First of all, they can't remember who the speaker was. There's not a chance they can remember 4 things. If you had a speaker that spoke for 30 minutes, they'd probably remember most of it. It doesn't matter how often I speak, my opening line is about being in the room. And people go, you said that 20 years ago. I said, I'm going to say it for the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to a concert?
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed a band plays their previous songs? So if Neil Diamond wasn't going to do Sweet Caroline, Touching Hands and all the other stuff, there'd be an outcry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most bands want to play their new music to sell it.
Yeah.
But if they don't play the old stuff, which they know, people aren't happy.
Yeah.
So when I speak at an event, and I've watched lots of other speakers, very often I'll be asked to share some of my previous stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because they like it, they know it, they feel comfortable with it.
Right.
In leadership, imagine I gave a brand new speech to every single person there and they'd never heard any of that material. Not only would they be slightly shocked, they've got to try and find a place in their brain for it.
To reorient themselves.
Yeah. Most people, and especially in leadership, think we've got to give lots of new material.
Mm-hmm.
You can't remember more than about 3 things. So I often say to people, start with a bang, start with something startling.
Mm-hmm.
Share 3 key points and leave them wanting more.
Mm-hmm.
When someone said, I've got 28 habits to make your life grow, I can't remember 3. Drink more water, try and get 8 hours of sleep, and don't eat too much chocolate. For most of us, life isn't that complicated, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn up, you like where you are, you trust the people you work with, and you communicate like a zookeeper, we'll come back to that, but you communicate well, your business should thrive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where I used to be a tennis player?
No.
Okay. Have you ever played tennis?
Yes.
Do you know why paddle is now so big? Have you seen the explosion?
Of course, yeah, I've observed
But
it.
do you know why paddle is so big?
No, I don't know the reason why, no.
Because you don't have to serve very well.
Right, okay.
If you serve your clients well, do you think you'll get a better return? Okay, so I'm trying to use the analogy of tennis for business.
Right.
If you serve well
Uh-huh.
and you follow through with your shots,
Yeah.
and you're in the room, on the court, bear in mind the average point only lasts 30 seconds, life isn't that complicated.
Right.
Paddle, though, has become this phenomenon because you don't need to serve that well.
Yeah.
You're playing doubles with a partner, the court is slightly smaller, and you can play off the walls.
Right.
And it's quite a lot of indoor. I play outdoors, by the way, which
Yeah.
last week I nearly died from pneumonia. It was -7, but I thought, be brave.
Yeah.
But business is very much like tennis. Most transactions aren't that long. I'm talking about the initial conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not in the room. We don't listen. We don't serve our clients well.
Mm.
Have you ever noticed we don't serve our... We haven't listened. We assume we think we know what they want. One of my biggest issues used to be in the past, a client would ring me up and ask me about an event, and I go, yeah, fine, I know what you need. I wasn't really listening because I thought I could help them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I spend 80% of the time listening to my client and only speaking 20% of the time because I'm really finding out where their pain is,
Mm-hmm.
what their problem is by asking really good questions,
Mm-hmm.
but then shutting up, which is really hard if you're a speaker.
Yeah.
So ask a question and stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
And most people find silence very uncomfortable
Why is that?
because we get uncomfortable with it because we think we're not adding value. I once did an event for a chief exec group where I was asked to do an event for the day. And the guy said, because we paid you for the day, didn't mean you had to speak for the day. I thought I had to speak for the whole day. They had no time for thinking. I just gave them loads and loads of stuff. I mean, literally 8 hours I spoke for. I mean, there were breaks, but I spoke for virtually 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy said, you could have allowed us to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
You've done enough events where there's speaker after speaker after speaker. There's a 20-minute coffee break, speaker after speaker. And the audience just go, we just need to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
The phrase less is more is really key. My wife is still amazed at me or at people that we're at an airport, and very well I've spoken to about 4 million people that likely I'm going to meet somebody I know at an airport, ironically.
Yeah.
And someone will come up to me and go, are you in the room? Is that your wife? He talks about you on stage. And my wife always says, how do you know I'm his wife? That always just shocks them a bit.
Right.
But it's amazing that someone said, I heard you 20 years ago. And I remember some of your key phrases because I say it more than 2 or 3 times. It doesn't matter how many times you hear me speak, I'm always going to say, if you're in the room, be in the room. I used to see this, it's really funny. I'd ask the audience a question, I'd say, how many of you have ever gone out for dinner? And then I'd continue talking. Well, if you ask the audience a question, they need to think about the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd moved on because it was like, I'm bored now. I'm sure everyone has. And then I said, well, I'm sure everyone has. And my wife gave me some amazing feed forward. She went, not everyone has done everything. Some people have done things,
Mm-hmm.
but not everyone has.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful with your language. Everyone does this. Not everyone. Most people do. Some people do.
Mm-hmm.
Men are very different to women.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about the boxes in the brain?
No, go ahead and tell me.
Okay. Men have 46 boxes in our brain. So you have a box for your car.
Mm-hmm.
You have a box for your camera equipment. You have a box for Ignite. You have a box as a father. You have a box as a husband. You have a box as a son for accounts of VAT, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And all those boxes are locked. You have one other box, which we're going to come on to in a minute. And you go into your car and you think about your car. And then you come into the studio and you think about your studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk to your daughter and you're in daughter mode. Your wife has 45 boxes. All of the boxes are open all of the time. But we have one extra box, men. It's a very weird box. It's called the nothing box. And men could be thinking of nothing. We could be at home doing nothing.
I
You
love
ever had
that box. I really like that.
I know. Your wife doesn't understand how you can be feeling nothing or doing nothing. So how you feeling? I'm okay. No, not feeling anything really, just chilling. And your wife thinks, what do you mean you're just chilling? You must be thinking something. I'm not thinking anything. And you can have an argument about you not thinking anything. Because women can't do that.
In fact, sometimes when I speak to my wife, I'll ask her to stop what she's doing so that I know she's actually paying attention.
She's
She can hear me.
She,
And she will say to me, I can do that and pay attention to you at the same
do
time.
you know why women can multitask and men can't? Do you know the history about multitasking?
No, tell me.
Okay, so I don't know how old we all are in this room, but millions of years ago, what was the man's job? Millions of years ago.
Go out and hunt for food.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
We went out with our spear and we hunted food. And we came back with our food to give to our wife. What was the wife's job?
To cook the food, to look after the children, to maintain the cave.
And listen out for animal sounds.
Yeah.
And all we did was hunt the animal. Thousands of years later, our brain still goes, I can do one thing. So if we're watching TV and our wife asks a question, we have to turn the television off.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's exactly what I will be like.
Okay,
I've got to
your
really dial
wife
in.
can listen, hear your children, know the dishwasher's finished, and think about the ironing. No man has thought of those 4 things ever in their lifetime. Now, this is going to be listened to thousands of people. There'll be one man who goes, I sometimes empty the dishwasher. I'm not saying men don't empty the dishwasher, but they can only empty the dishwasher. Then they can go to the fridge, and then they can watch TV, and then they can sort the car out. Now, let's go back a stage. When we're in the workplace, and there's lots of things going on, women can actually multitask, still not as brilliant as they could millions of years ago, so they don't need to, but they can actually listen and do some work. Most men can't do that. We can be solely focused on what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to communication, then we have a major issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because the styles of communication, because men and women think differently, they communicate differently, but it's whether you understand your wife's communication style. You've got 2 children, haven't you?
Yeah.
Your first child is much more serious and is much more methodical.
He's much more serious, definitely.
But do you know why that's the case?
No.
So when he was born, forget religion, race, and whatever the word is, forget that bit. When he was born, the world stopped. It was like the Lion King appeared. And when we fed him and we ran after him and the grandparents came and all the rest, and if he fell over, we had the SAS, we had the ambulance service, we were on WhatsApp, Chat GPT. He's cut his lip. Is he going to die?
Yeah.
Your second child appears, they can eat shit and they're fine. So second children are much more resilient in a way because they have to be.
Mm.
So most second children, I'm a second child, have a lot more fun in some of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
First children are quite serious. They don't share their toys the same way. They didn't need to. Now let's go to the workplace. You've got a young man or a young woman who comes into the workplace as a single child. They don't know how to share. They communicate in a slightly weird way because they are much more lion elephant tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
They're quite straightforward. They're quite matter of fact, and they like some detail.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely are second children like that. I'm all over the place. I'm a classic monkey. I have some dolphin tendencies, which you're not quite caring, but I'm a bit all over the place. I don't have much of a structure. My diary's a bit all over the place, and I love double booking.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favourite thing in the world to double book.
So Nigel, tell me about this monkey and this dolphin thing that you just touched on.
Okay, so there are many styles of communication. There's loads of trainings, and there's Myers-Briggs, Bellman, DISC. There's loads of stuff, and they're brilliant. One of the problems, though, with lots of communication training is you often find out who you are. Well, finding out who you are isn't really the biggest issue because you don't often communicate with yourself. I mean, you don't often book your own studio and have an argument with yourself. You often have communication with clients, your wife, your kids, etc. And the job that we have worked on is to see how quickly you can identify other people's communication styles. So we created a model called the zookeeper approach. So we've got 4 different animals in our zoo. We've got a lion, we have a monkey, we have an elephant, we have a dolphin. Lions are single-minded, they're direct, they're to the point, often senior directors of companies. One of our friends, Sally, classic lion, she knows what she wants it run the way she wants, and don't mess her about.
Mm-hmm.
And she's brilliant at what she does in her way. Then you've got someone like me who's a monkey. So I'm creative, I'm a bit out there, I've got lots of energy, but I don't have a system and I'm not very disciplined and I'm not very good about being in the room, even though I talk about being in the room.
Mm.
Then you have the elephants who are cautious, precise, deliberate, sceptical, accountants, lawyers, structural engineers, quantity surveyors.
Mm.
And then you have the dolphins who are caring and nurturing, supportive, who want to make the world a better place. And the average workplace has those 4 animals. The question is, if you talk to all the animals in the same way, 75% aren't going to get the message correctly.
So how do you deal with that?
By understanding your job from today is to become a zookeeper. And the zookeeper's job is to feed the animals the food they need. So if you notice, I turned up 25 minutes early
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to make sure you knew I was here. I was ready for the interview, and Steve would have enough time to prep and to get the mics all sorted out. Because I know as a monkey that the worst nightmare for the other 3 animals is I'll probably be a little bit late. I won't be prepared. I won't have my shit together. That's one of the problems with monkeys. But as a zookeeper, I know it's important for the lions because they think time is important. And you'll appreciate this. On time is late in the filming world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had an interview booked for 1 o'clock. So in theory, I should turn up at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how would you have felt if I turned up at 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Very well, it's going to take us 10 minutes to get going.
Yeah.
So on time is late.
Mm-hmm.
To a monkey, 1-ish.
Right.
To an elephant, they'd have been here yesterday night. They'd have stayed the night because there was lots of wind. Do you remember? We had lots of weather issues. So they're so cautious, they probably would have found a hotel somewhere in, I forgot where we are here, don't tell me, somewhere near Watford.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have probably stayed the night. And the dolphins, the first thing they'd have done is bought you some nice chocolates to make sure you're okay. So I know you've not been feeling very well recently. I do lots of coaching with people. I do a lot on forgiveness, and I work a lot with chief execs who don't have much time and they don't want bullshit. They want me to get straight to the point.
Okay.
So I can merge into the lion mode and I can be really gentle, which I know you'll find strange, but I do a lot of work on forgiveness. So I can go into the dolphin place.
Right. Okay.
I am married, though, to a massive, massive elephant. I mean, she's a size 12.
Yeah.
But she is a massive elephant. And everything is a question. Everything is a process. Everything is, so where are you going? I'm going to see, so, gee, you're going to do a podcast. Where's the podcast going to go? Where will I see it?
Yeah.
I mean, there are questions she asks I've never even thought of.
Mm-hmm.
But that's classic elephant behavior.
Mm-hmm.
My wife can go into dolphin mode.
Mm-hmm.
She can nearly go into lion mode, but she has no monkey attributes at all.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't take any risk. She doesn't think I'm funny at all.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks I'm just stupid.
Okay.
And she's not wrong, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way she is doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But the way our marriage works is one of us has to become a zookeeper.
Right.
So I said to you, I'm taking her out to dinner tonight.
Right.
And I've got some questions to ask her, which will make her feel like I've thought about the dinner.
Right.
But I've had to think about that as a zookeeper. What questions would she love me to ask her? Normally, I'd turn up and I'd just order the food, I'd look at my phone, have a bit of fun, and I wouldn't really care.
Right.
That's not really being a zookeeper. That's not being loving, nurturing, caring, supportive.
Okay. So with this in mind, with all the animals and the zookeeper, how does this apply in the entrepreneurial landscape and the business landscape?
Great question. So imagine you've got a brand new business. No, you've got a business and you're an established business, but you've got a new idea. We're going to open up a studio. The elephants are going to freak out. Hold on, we like what we do here. What does it mean if there's going to be a studio? We're going to have to do new things. We're going to have to go somewhere. Are we going to be moving from Slough? Are we going to be in a new place? Do I know where the shops are? They start to get really nervous. The lions go, well, will I get promoted? Or will I be the head cameraman? What's going to happen? Am I going to have a new title? The monkey's going, somewhere new. We're excited. We've got no idea what we do. I didn't even know we did podcasts, but we'll have some fun. And the dolphins go, as long as we're all a family, because we don't want to be locked into different rooms and we can all work together, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
So the tragedy is, in your brain as a lion, as the operator, you know why we're doing this. Well, it's going to be brilliant. We've got a new space, bigger studios. It's going to be brilliant. The other three animals are going, I wonder why he's doing this. Is everything okay? Why are we moving from near the Heathrow Airport to Watford? Why are we doing this? Maybe it's cheaper rent. Maybe there's some problems. Then you've got the dolphins going, oh, there better be some shops nearby because I'm middle of nowhere. We're in some industrial estate. I hope there's a van that comes around with that little, the sandwich man that comes around. We get excited with that. And the dolphins go, as long as there's a community spirit, that'd be lovely.
How does the team leader, the head of department, the CEO, etc., deal with all of these archetypes?
First thing they've got to do is they've got to know the animal type.
Because that's taxing. That just sounds exhausting.
It does to someone like you, because you want perfection. I haven't got time for this because you're a classic lion. Let's get the job done. Just follow the instructions. Get that camera rolling. Are we okay, Steve? Are we rolling? That's all you care about. And I'm thinking, poor Steve, he's freezing. He's got a T-shirt on over there. I'm worried. I've got into dolphin mode. I'm worried. Has he had a cup of tea? You're going, I'm paying him. That's his own problem. Okay? So one of the issues that always is, do you ever sit down with your crew? Do you ever sit down with your team and find out what's going on for them and understand their communication style?
I do spend time with them to understand what's going on with them in life. And I think I'm adaptive, but
You're not.
I don't overthink it. Like I don't think I have the patience to go through.
I don't, because that's classic lion behaviour. Lion behaviour is, I've got a job to do. We've got a guy coming in at 1. Make sure you're at 10 to 1. Let's get him mic'd up.
That's me. Forget it. That's
classic lion. Steve's going, yeah, that's you. Okay. No, but there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is, if I'm a dolphin, what you've actually said to me is you don't care about me. You don't love me enough because you've not supplied me with my Diet Coke, Cadbury's chocolate, and you're not looking after me. And you haven't find out where I park my car. Is it an acceptable place? And is there going to be a break? Even though you did say in case you need a toilet break, we can stop halfway through. You did go 1% into dolphin mode for a millisecond, and then you went right back to the questions.
Yeah.
If you really want to be a phenomenal leader, and we have lots of staff here, your job is to understand what does a zookeeper do to maintain the wealth, health, and well-being of my zoo. Because Steve's got to go on the M25 tonight.
Yeah.
It would be lovely if you could let him leave here before 4 o'clock.
Which I do. So I do things like that.
Yeah, but not consciously. But I'm using Friday as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, if we can get you to be on the M25 before 4 o'clock, how will you feel? Yeah. Just he doesn't say much.
Yeah.
But a thumbs up. But there'll be other people saying, well, he's employed till 5. That's what his contract says. If I give him an hour off, he should be grateful. Because in your brain, that's what you're thinking.
See, you know what? I can be flexible.
I love this. On your terms, you can be flexible. That's classic line behaviour. And you think you deserve a medal for that. And you walk into your home.
You're right. You're right.
And as a line, when you come into your domain, I have arrived. Children, where are you? Come and see me. No. I have arrived. No. Yes, you are. Okay, I want your wife to watch this. Okay. As a monkey, I forgot where I live. I'll give you a classic example about me. On a Sunday night, I have a job to do.
Yeah.
It's called set the bins out. But I wait till my wife can watch me so I get applause.
Oh, that's great.
On a Monday night, have a guess what my job is then? To bring them back in. So my wife's a therapist. So I wait till 10 to the hour when the client leaves so she can see me bring the bins back in so I get applause.
That's great.
But my wife knows this because she now goes into zookeeping. Because as an elephant, I don't thank her for emptying the dishwasher or doing the washing. But as a monkey, if I empty the dishwasher, I think I need the whole of Hertfordshire to know. I emptied the dishwasher. I'd like some applause, please.
Yes, yeah.
So all the animals have different traits. The zookeeper, the CEO's job is to do walk and talks, is to do some coaching, is to talk more to their team. I mean, we have a personality assessment tool, which is so in-depth that if you filled it out, I'd know more about you than your wife knows about you. Mm-hmm. And then people go, have I slept with you? Because it's that in-depth, I know that much about you. Mm-hmm. So there's an issue for most CEOs. They don't know their staff well enough. They think they know their staff well enough.
Okay, so tell me what you would tell a typical CEO to do in their schedule to make sure that they're improving in the way in which you're describing.
So this afternoon, if it was a classic Friday, I would ask you to ask some of your team, what did you complete this week? What are you proud of? And what didn't you complete? And what support do I need next week? The answers you get, if you were to do it regularly, would tell you exactly what type of animal they are. It would allow there to be trust in the workplace because they'd share what they had done. Are you aware most bosses have no idea what hasn't been done on a Friday afternoon? But the person who hasn't completed the job goes home knowing it hasn't been completed. My job is to teach CEOs to share and open up possibilities with their staff. Mm-hmm. The more CEOs trust their staff, but the staff trust themselves to be able to share openly, the quicker you get to success.
On the topic of trust, when you were talking about trust, that's a hierarchy issue. That's the people above that are not trusting the people working.
Both ways.
So what do you advise in that situation?
I trust everyone until I get let down. You've been let down in the past.
Yeah.
So now, because you've been let down, you don't trust people.
I find it hard.
Okay. What would it take for you to forgive the rest of the world right now that they've messed up, but you could forgive them? You may not be able to forget their actions, but you could forgive their actions. I promise you, your life will change when you forgive your past. In order to create your future, you must complete your past.
See, I can dig that.
I thought you might.
I like that. That lands well.
Yeah, because it's classic CEO language. So look at your situation. The time is, just for everyone to know, it's nearly 2 o'clock. Would you agree that you can't change the past?
Yes.
How much time do you think you spend thinking about the past? Too much.
Less so now, but I have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you dwell on the past and you don't like what people have done to you in the past. My life works because I don't hold on to shit. I'll give you an example. Just hold on to that for me. Hold it out in the air. Like, yeah, right, let's continue the conversation.
I've done this with clients before.
Yeah, well, keep holding on to it. It gets heavy after a while.
It does, yeah.
But the tragedy is I now want to hug you and you're still holding on to that water. And I have people who hug me holding on to the water.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to hold on to that for the rest of the day.
See, yeah. So just for people listening on audio, I'm holding a bottle of water. And the point that Nigel's making is right now, this does not feel heavy. By the end of the day, I don't have an arm left.
But I'm telling you now, but you can put that down, but I can give you a feather and it will be heavy after a while.
Yeah.
Everyone who's listening to this, I promise you now, holding on to shit doesn't work. And it stinks. And most of us would rather be right than happy. Let go of being right and decide what makes me happy. What makes me happy is being with the people I love, being in joy, being in the room, and just being present. So I shared with you before, I've lost some weight. And it's really funny. People have a vested interest in your life not working.
Mm.
There's a group of people going to me now. It's really funny. I think you've lost enough. 2 months ago, I was obese and I was just a fat bastard.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're really saying is, if you lose too much, then it'll cause me problems.
Mm-hmm.
People don't always want you to succeed.
They don't want you to get ahead of them.
Yeah. So you've got these brand new, phenomenal new studios. And I'm so pleased to be here because I saw your other studios, which were great, but this is phenomenal. And we've got this fantastic podcast facility and everyone should be listening to your podcast.
Thanks.
But the issue is there'll be some people going, I wonder why he moved. I wonder, is everything okay?
Yeah.
He's only got 5 cameras. He had 6 at the last place. I wouldn't even notice that stuff. I wonder if everything's okay. I wonder how things are. Yeah, because he was doing really well.
Mm.
It's a bit like driving cars. Have you ever noticed that when people have a car, you don't know who's leased the car, you don't know who's rented the car, whatever, you think they must be doing really well. Don't judge people by their cars. Judge people by their relationships with their family.
Yeah. You know what, Nigel? That actually made me think of something that I wrote in my book and explained to my kids. Don't judge a person from the depth of their pockets. Judge the person from the depth of their character.
Yep. Cool.
Just reminds me of that.
Yeah. And there's a point that goes with that says, where does that stuff come from? And it's either parents or other people, do you remember this one? Firm handshake.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to appreciate this. So I spoke in India 3 or 4 years ago, and there were 3,500 people.
Yes.
And I had to sign 3,500 books, and I had to shake people's hand, take pictures. This was my handshake on the first one.
Yeah.
By the 3,500th person, this was my handshake. Now, on the basis of that, I can't be trusted because I didn't have a firm handshake. I was hot and sweaty. I couldn't be asked, and I wanted to get back to my hotel room.
Couldn't be trusted according to your rules?
Okay, now, according to the rules of the world,
Okay.
that in theory, a firm handshake.
Yes.
Now, you know that someone who's learned the rules of salesmanship will give you great eye contact, give you a firm handshake, and then you say, yeah, but he's a used car salesman, can't trust him.
Mm.
So there's tricks of the trade, and all I'm asking people to do is just trust themselves. And we spoke about this right before the podcast started, that the most important thing I have in my armor is my gut.
Mm-hmm.
So we have something called the vagus nerve, which goes from our brain down to our stomach, and it's the largest nerve in our body, and it literally tells us how we're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
My gut is 98% right, and what I'm really good at doing is double booking clients, because I can trust which ones I can move. I tell you what I'm not good at is employing staff. My gut is not right. I think everyone's lovely. So I'm not allowed to employ any staff anymore because my gut isn't right. And I have what's called a gut diary. And everyone who's listening today should have what I call a gut diary. And it's to trust your instincts, trust how you're feeling, because your gut is 98% right.
How does that 98% compare to your mind?
No, but that's what I'm saying. My mind will play tricks. I'll give you an example. You go outside, you think, shall I take an umbrella or not? Your gut says take an umbrella. And you do, and you go, well, thank God I did. Or then you don't take the umbrella, you go, can't believe I didn't listen to myself.
Mm.
If we learn to trust ourselves, our lives work. If we learn to trust other people, and some people might let you down, still trust them.
I always go with my gut feeling.
Good. Life's not that complicated. Trust yourself, trust people, and even if you trust people, 2% of the world are going to let you down.
Mm-hmm.
But at least play with the 98% and be nice to them. Be kind, be nice. Communicate like a zookeeper. Be in the room. Love your kids. I mean, you know, I hug everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get it wrong 2% of the time. That means I get it right 98% of the time.
Yeah.
Imagine as an organisation you get it right 98% of the time. How would you feel?
Brilliant.
Except there's a little bit of you going, if I didn't get it right that 2%, because that's that perfection side of you coming out. If I get 98% on a school report, my parents would have thought I've cheated.
Mm-hmm.
I've never got 98% in a school report, but it's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, life is not complicated. We've made it complicated to give us fantastic excuses not to succeed.
So what would be the 3 golden nuggets that you would end this conversation with?
Okay, so one's going to be a bit cheesy and one's going to be really factual. You need to be where you are. So I'm with you in these fantastic studios. That's the only place I can be.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is to find people like you who can support businesses to make great film, edit, podcasts. Because you do a great job. I've worked with you for a number of years, and every time I've worked with you, it's been phenomenal. So I need more people like you in my life that have got experience that make me look good.
Mm-hmm.
And Ignite Studios have always made me look good. I think sometimes you've done a bit of a filter to make me look a bit thinner. I don't know, but
I don't need to do that anymore.
Oh, not anymore, but in the past you did. Steve's looking at me thinking, how big was he? But the last thing is about trusting yourself. Trust yourself that you're going to do the best you can with the knowledge and information you got.
And just let go of the rest.
Let it go.
Thanks, Nige.
Pleasure.
Appreciate that, buddy. By the way, where can people learn more about you?
So I have a website, nigelrisner.com. There's a free animal quiz if they want to look at see which animal they are. And if they're interested, there's some books there. But just go on the website, have a look and have some fun. What Sanjeeva's got is amazing. He's got a fantastic studio. He's got a fantastic camera guy. Steve is amazing. You only want to come if Steve's here. He's got a fantastic setup. You want to subscribe, press that little bell button because they're going to be doing lots of interviews. And if you get a chance to book Sanjeev for one of your events, you must. I've been with him for the last 8 years and every event's been brilliant. Love you, guy.
Thank you.